Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is this right here. So if that looks interesting to you guys, please carry on and watch the video. And also one more thing before we get into the video, if you enjoy what I do here, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. It really helps me out and lets me know you enjoy the video. But with all that out of the way, let's get into that video. Okay, so we are going to be painting up a Dragonborn miniature, and I'm going to be making this a red Dragonborn. So I want to start off with a red here. Now, for me, I'm going to be going with sort of a warm hued red. So this is going to be sort of red and eventually go up towards more of an orange color rather than keeping in the super dark red zones. I want to try and get a little bit of warmth into there, so try and go up to a little bit of a warmer tone, so try and go into the sort of oranges. So that's why, as you can see here, for the base color for our Dragonborn skin here, I'm going with more of an orangey red, and then I'm going to highlight up from there rather than going from a super deep dark red, just to mix it up a little bit. I haven't really experimented with warm red, so I wanted to give that a try here. So just as simple as going in and painting up everywhere where you can see his skin exposed. Then once we have that complete, what I'm going to do now is come in with a yellow, and this is going to be for the eye. Now, one thing that you might notice a little bit in the chain, especially at the end of the video, is I don't actually keep the yellow color for the eyes. I felt like it wasn't popping enough against the colors of the Dragonborn, and I actually end up by switching this to a green. So I'd recommend, if you're trying to go for like a red Dragonborn here like I have, maybe switching up with a different color to really make it pop that little bit more. I was going for more of the straight reptile look, so I wanted to give him the yellow, but I think green just popped a little bit more in the end. Then once you have that eye picked out, whatever color you want, I'm going here with another lighter red, and this one here is going to be, of course, going more to that orange pinkish color rather than the deepening red. So this is what I'm going to be using as my highlight color. And with the Dragonborn here, he has some scales sculpted on him, so I'm making sure that I want to try and pick out as many of those sort of scales as I can to give that texture that is slightly on the miniature. The texture's a little shallow, but it is there, and I want to try and use that to pick it out. As well as that too, they also have these nice ridges and bumps on their head as well. So making sure that I just skim across the top of them so we can pick out all of those little ridges and bumps and give ourselves some nice highlights across the entirety of the miniature. Now that we have all of that done, I'm going to come in with a wash now, and this is of course the wash over everywhere that we're painted together. So this is Caribou Crimson, this is a red wash, and this is going to bring everything down towards the red color, that little bit more, tie everything together and just deepen all of the colors, because like I said, I'm going with some warmer reds, so I'm starting to get a little bit into that pinkish orange range for me, and I thought that was maybe getting a little too out there of what I wanted. So I wanted to try and deepen and darken that back down, and the way to do that is to come in with a nice dark deep red wash is what I'm using here, and just giving everywhere a good overall coat, making sure to avoid any of the pooling areas. As you can see, I'm wicking up a lot of the areas of the wash in the eyes because I don't want to lose the color of our eyes in there. Then once we have that wash completely dry, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start on some of that armor, and I'm going to be giving him some sort of darker, sort of that evil looking armor. So I'm going with a black here. Now black, just going straight black probably isn't the greatest decision because you don't have a mass amount of color to play around with here, but I wanted him to be like a crazy evil like enemy that's coming towards you, and I wanted him to be super intimidating, so I went super deep black here. This is just straight pure black, and the reason why you probably want to try and avoid using pure black all the time on miniatures is because you don't have a lot to sort of shade it down to, but in this case I'm trying to go with that super intimidating, oppressive look, so I want to have that black there. So I'm just going around and picking out a lot of the areas of the armor for that. Then once you're happy with those areas you've picked out in the black armor, I'm going to come in with some gunmetal now, and there is some sort of chainmail and scale mail over the areas of his armor, so that's what I want to be painting up here. As well as that too, I left a couple of the plates that are exposed on his chest, which has like sort of that chainmail, so scale mail design on there too, so I didn't want to do them entirely black. I wanted to switch it up and not make the armor completely black. So I'm going to add in a little bit of our gunmetal here as well, just to give it a little bit more variety to the color. You know, I still want it to be looking big and intimidating, but I don't want it to just be straight black. That's sort of a little cliche, and there's not a lot to play around with here. So I'm going to use some other colors there to still give off that same sort of feel, but just adding a lot more color and variety to the piece overall. Okay, so now we've finished up those scaled areas and those metallic areas. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with a green, and I'm going to be using this for the underclothes of his armor there, a little skirt that's poking out there. I'm going to be doing this in a green because it's a nice complementary color to red, so it's going to tie in nicely, but I am purposely doing it in a nice deep dark red because, like I said, I want him to be intimidating and imposing, so I want to stay away from the super bright colors there and convey that he is menacing without, I think if I went with some super bright colors, it sort of distract from that sort of angle I'm trying to portray here. So I only want like a few areas of pop of color, so keeping everything in sort of that deeper range, and I think this dark green is great for that. Then once we have that complete, I'm going to use a brighter green, and this is going to be for the highlighting step. Now, like I said, I wanted to avoid a lot of that super brightness, so what I'm going to do is when I come in here and picked out a lot of these highlights, I'm actually going to apply a wash over top of it, and then it's going to deepen it down and tie it together. So you could, of course, do it the opposite way around. You apply your wash, darken it down, and place your highlights, but like I said, I'm trying to go with that more darker aesthetic for him. So I want to place my highlights on first, and then I want to apply a wash over top of that. But as you can see, it's just a matter of picking out all of those nice raised areas on his underskirt here. So now we have that picked out, what I'm going to do is come in with a grey. This here is a warm grey, and I'm going to be using this for his cloak. Now, I could have easily gone with a black cloak over top of here again, or even the green, but I wanted something to pop out a little bit on him, so this is going to be sort of like one of the brighter colors on him, just to add that variety, because you know, it's not a detriment to have complete dark and grim everywhere. You got to add in a little bit of areas of brightness and eye-catchingness to the piece on it overall. So I want to come in with a little bit of a lighter color here. Of course, I'm going to darken it down, which is going to help tie it together just that little bit, but I still want, like I said, that pop of color. If you're going for straight, intimidating and menacing, then probably a nice easy black and going over all of the nice deep dark colors will help, but I want the miniature also to be just a little bit versatile as well, but still give off that presence of him being intimidating. So a nice neutral grey, nice warm grey here in my case, is still going to work great because it's a nice neutral color tone for the palette of him overall. Then once we have that complete, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with a gold. Actually, I was feeling like the armor was just lacking that little bit, and so to help him just a little bit more is I'm going to come in with some gold, and I'm going to pick out some areas of trim and some little parts of the plate mail that he's wearing, and those nice areas that he's got of display on his armor, and I want to use those areas to help highlight different parts of the armor, give it some more visual interest, and it's going to really help uplift the piece overall by giving it that more interesting presence over the entirety of the model, and I don't think it's going to distract from it being some nice intimidating armor in the process. So I'm just going to go around and pick out some areas that I think feel good to do in this gold and give some nice visual interest to all of this black armor. Now that I'm happy with the pieces that I've picked out from our gold here, just giving that a little bit more visual interest, I'm actually going to come back to our cloak now and give it some highlights here, and this is just with a brighter grey and just picking out the areas where the highlights naturally would be, and this model has nice easy sort of to follow guides of, like, you know, ridges and high peaks, so it's just a matter of coming in and picking out a lot of those areas. Then once we have that cloak done, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with some Reichland Flesh Shade, and this here of course is a flesh wash, but I'm going to be using this over the gold parts of our armor. And what this is going to do is this is going to actually give a nice warm tint to the armor, because our flesh wash is sort of like a mixture of a browny reddish color. It's just going to help warm everything up, and I think it's going to give that more interest to the gold parts of our armor here, making it look a little bit more like warm gold, to really just help emphasize the warm color of our Dragonborn as well, but also give it some nice color variety too. Then once we have that complete and dried up, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with a black wash. Now I'm going to be using this for everywhere we haven't placed over a wash so far. So our skirt here, for instance, our armor that are the black areas and not the gold areas, and also the scale mail and chainmail areas, as well as that too, his cloak as well, we're also going to be doing in the black wash. So giving everywhere a nice good coat, and of course when we get to the armored areas, we want to be a little bit careful and making sure that that black wash isn't going to accidentally pull onto our areas of the gold wash where it's going to really mix it up. So making sure that you pay a little bit of attention as it's drying and wick up any excess as you need to. Then once you have that complete, what we're going to be doing now is I'm going to be using some contrast paints. I'm going to be using a red and a yellow here, and I'm going to be using this for its flaming sword. Because it is a nice clear plastic, we will be able to have the effect of the translucency, and using contrast paint for this, because contrast paint is nice and thin, it is still going to give us the translucent property of the paint itself. So coming in here with a yellow first, establishing where I want the sort of hottest parts of our fire to be, and then coming in with our red and sort of mixing them around onto our palette here, giving a nice interesting mix. Also one other thing here, I lost the footage of me highlighting up the armor and the scale mail areas, so I just came in, especially for the armor with our black armor, I came in with just a slightly lighter grey, a black grey, use that to highlight up some of the areas of the armor. I came in with a bright gold to highlight the gold areas, and also with our scale mail I came in with a bright silver to highlight those areas up. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record on the camera, so me being dumb, missed out on all of those steps as well. But just know that I went around and picked out a lot of those areas as well too, that you'll see in our final glamour shots at the end here. And actually, I think since you can see me here just fussing around with our flame, it's a good point now to go into those glamour shots and see how they came out, shall we? And there you have it. With all that completed, we have finally finished painting up our red Dragonborn Paladin from the Dungeons & Dragons range of miniatures by WizKids. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys, whether you want to follow along with what I did here, or you just want to use this video as some inspiration in painting up your own miniatures. But with all that said, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.